Well, YouTubers, I thought I would carry on, as they say, carry on with the Nightmare on Elm Street series, watching them kind of out of order, and reviewing them out of order for that matter. The next one up on the docket for today is Nightmare on Elm Street 3, Dream Warriors. I think you can see that pretty good. There we go. I'd like to say first that this one is one of my more favored ones in the series. It's got a decent direction. It's got some good production values. This is the movie when Nightmare on Elm Street really just took off with wildfire. The original broke new ground and gained notoriety, opened the doors for it basically, and it got the reputation out there as something you need to see. It's very scary. The second one came out. It did well at the box office for a movie of its type, but it just, people didn't really see it as something they would want to go back and see many times over and over again. But buddy, when Nightmare on Elm Street 3 Dream Warriors came out, it just had a little bit of everything in it, and that's the one that really put Freddy Krueger on the map, and Freddy Mania just took off like wildfire. I think one of the reasons why this one did a lot better than probably the first sequel, Freddy's Revenge, it had a major influence by Wes Craven, the original creator of the series, or creator of the original Nightmare on Elm Street. Not only did he do the screenplay, but I believe he did the original story, screenplay, and he served as executive producer on the film and was originally slated to direct this movie, but then hired the direction of Chuck Russell, who then in turn brought on board to help with screenplay, as you know from the other films that are out there, Frank Darabont, who's done a lot of Stephen King movies, things of that nature, The Shawshank Redemption. You'll know from that, The Green Mile, things of that nature. So this movie had a pretty good influence as far as good creative minds, things of that nature, and it had influences from the prior films, and it had new influences from new creative minds. Plus, it had a rockin' score to it. I mean, it had some songs from Dokken, the old '80s hair band. I mean, it had a little bit of everything for everyone. This movie marked the return of Heather Langenkamp, who did her performance again as Nancy, the survivor from Part 1, also returning in a, not really so much a cameo, but maybe a featured role as John Saxon as her father. There are a couple of cameos in this movie from Zsa Zsa Gabor and Dick Cavett in a funny sequence on a little TV part in the movie. This is also the one where, as I said before, Freddy hit the mainstream. Freddy became basically the main character in this movie. Now, he was in maybe a third tier or a secondary character position in the first two movies. In this one, he became mainly the guy right out in front, and everybody else followed behind him. This one throws in everything but the kitchen sink, basically. There's a lot of cool dream sequences. There's some good gags in there, good jokes, good laughs. Don't want to ruin it too much if you've never seen it, but you need to go rent it and give it a look-see, because it'll be worth your while. Get it with your friends, pop some popcorn, sit around, tell a few jokes. It'll be fun. Stars also Patricia Arquette. She went on to do some other major projects. I would consider major projects. Lawrence Fishburne, you know, from The Matrix and other movies of that nature. This was one of his earlier roles. He was in it as well. I guess I should talk a little bit about the story. This one centers around a group of teenagers again, but this time around they're in a hospital type setting, and they're all receiving treatment for the same symptoms. However, the main woman doctor in charge just seems to always, it's the antagonist basically. She doesn't really seem to understand that there's something going on, and yes, they all have the same symptoms, but that's not really what's bothering you. And then you have the protagonist, doctor, who is aided by our hero from the first movie, Nancy. They basically try to help the children that are having problems, and Nancy understands what they're going through. The title is Dream Warriors. They get this title from the fact that these kids are trying to develop their skills in their dreams and find their own inner power to combat Freddy, who is a force in their dreams that is trying to kill them, basically. I did like how they took the turn in the story that these were the last of the Elm Street children, the children the parents who killed Freddy back in the day, and then he's terrorizing them now nightly in their dreams. All in all, to keep it short, this is a good one in the series. It's one of my more favored, more watched ones in the series because it just has a lot of good one-liners from Freddy and things of that nature. Give it a look, draw your own conclusions. I give it a standard 7, maybe a 7.5, meaning you need to watch it. And if you haven't, shame on you. You need to watch it. And if you haven't seen the rest of my reviews in this series, shame on you again. Shake my finger at you again. You need to subscribe. Leave your comments below. Subscribe. Can't remember if that's the right way. One of these sides, subscribe. Take care, folks.